we go. So first of all, just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Miss Davis, and I'm the arts coordinator here at Northwest School of the Arts. I am delighted to have you all here for this info session. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy schedules uh, to join us for some questions. The first thing I'm going to ask is for families, please mute yourselves. You do have the option to chat, type in the chat throughout this presentation, but please mute yourself so that we don't get the background noises. And please know that we will have a recording available. I usually try to have that available within 24 hours. But again, welcome to our information session. The very first part of this session will be dedicated to just talking to you a little bit about our school. At Northwest, we are committed. Our vision is that we're committed to helping students develop intellectually and artistically and socially, emotionally, and physically. And in doing so, we will encourage the student to become a contributing member of society. So that's what we try to do at Northwest. At Northwest, our top value is kindness. We also prize a strong work ethic in teaching staff, in individualism, and in creative aspects of our arts, to include the art of teaching. A primary focus on emotional well-being and safety of our students. Our graduation rate is commensurate with our students' high growth and talents, and promoting opportunities for our students to demonstrate mastery in academics and in arts. So at Northwest, our mission is the pursuit of excellence in academics, arts, and humanities. So I'm very, very excited again to see you all today. First part of our session here is just going to give you show you a quick brief video. This is our little commercial. We show our schools, and this is the commercial that we have advertised for our school. And then the second part, just going to give you a little bit of information about our academics, our school overall, our academics, our students, and then we'll end it with a brief Q&A session. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to give you the answer to those questions. And so without any further ado, here's our video.
Northwest just has this certain creative vibe to it that I haven't really seen at other schools. If I had a friend that wanted to go to Northwest, I would say definitely do it. If you are passionate about what you love to do, you have to be able to not only be passionate about what you love, but be able to put in the work here.
The vibrancy of the students here at Northwest is pretty off the charts. I look for what I perceive as being their best levels and their best work, and then try to push them a step beyond that.
We regularly have students that graduate with honors, that go to Carolina, that go to the most prestigious schools, especially the most prestigious art schools. But it's our job to prepare them for whatever they might want to do, and we can't do that unless we're competitive.
Balancing all of your academic classes at Northwest and your major, it does take a lot of effort and dedication. So of course, academics are always first. Miss Sears and all of our staff here are very serious about if you're failing in one of your academic classes or enough of them, you'll go on academic probation. And so that means you basically can't do any of your major stuff. So you definitely have to put in the work in your academic classes.
People wouldn't think that an art school would have such great academics. I mean, we have a 100% graduation rate, and these kids that go here are extremely talented, and you wouldn't expect that they would be smart along with that too.
When you're on that stage, you get a really, really great idea of what it's like to be on a professional stage, and with the lights and the tech, and it's a lot of majors coming together, where it's peril or set and musical theater and straight theater, and even the tech people are all in one space together, working together to create a beautiful piece. So it's really great to be on stage.
It's been my experience in teaching that sometimes students will come to a visual arts class and expect it to be boring or structured because they're in school and they've been sitting for a long time in their math class, in their science class, and what have you. But I try to make sure that my students are engaged and they're learning at the same time.
But here they have to work on a team because almost everything we do here is team-oriented. And they're going to meet people with vastly different experiences and vastly different interests. And it can be pretty exciting. It can be a little intimidating sometimes too, because you're used to being in your comfort zone. But to some degree, art is all about being brave enough to move out of that comfort zone.
Sometimes when I torture them, when I'm saying do it again, do it again, do it again, do it again, there is that willingness to keep doing it. The students don't give up, and they're really striving towards mastery.
Okay, so let's move on to the next part of our presentation. So that's a really brief video. We'd like to show that video. Thank you for everyone who was able to let me know that you could hear. So that video that you just saw just gives you a little bit of information about our programs, about our students, and overall what they are able to do in an environment like this. I'm just going to invite everyone to please mute their microphones, please. If you are just joining us, my name is Ms. Davis. I'm the arts coordinator at Northwest. I do a lot of the tours as well as the information sessions, and I do also the scheduling with auditions. And so any questions that you have, there will be an opportunity for questions. We will also have an opportunity to just learn a little bit about the school. So the first thing we're going to jump into is some information about Northwest. First things first, we are the only arts magnet in CMS that offers specialized arts instructions for grades 6 through 12 in Charlotte-Mecklenburg School District. We are both a middle school and a high school. So again, Northwest, we are highly ranked among CMS schools for our academic success. We're known both nationwide and internationally for the quality of our arts programs. Recently, we were ranked number 3 in the U.S. News and World Report. You can look that up, and usually that is based off of grade score testing scores, AP level testing scores. And then they populate that report every year, and they rank us based on where we land. We are proud of our high graduation rate, which stays pretty consistently at 91%. One of the things about Northwest is that students can choose from about 10 different majors. So we'll go through that in a little while, but with that, again, strong academic focus with a concentration in the study of visual or performing arts. Students can major in one of 10 of our majors, and that ranges from music, dance, theater, and visual arts. Within our music programs, we have band, orchestra, piano, chorus, choral majors. We also have dance, where we offer ballet and modern dance as our foundations, but there are also some opportunities for students to take tap and jazz as elective offerings. There's also theater. The umbrella of theater has musical theater, drama, which also includes technical theater and costume design. which are two of our majors that you don't see offered in too many programs. We also have visual arts. And within all of these different majors, we do have high school students can major in more than one major. Now, middle school students can opt to audition for two areas, but they can only major in one area. Now, the good thing about eighth grade is when the student gets into eighth grade, especially with technical theater, I'm really pushing technical and costume those programs, because that's something that our eighth graders, they sometimes don't know about until they can audition for it in the fall. So this is the opportunity in the fall, being that you can only enter the lottery with a past audition. So students, they have to pass an audition first in order to be eligible to participate in the CMS School Options Lottery for a seat at Northwest. So we'll talk a little bit about the audition process in a moment, but just remember that the audition comes prior to the lottery. The lottery usually opens later on towards November. But we're the only school that has an entrance requirement in addition to the lottery. So there will be a time at your audition when you arrive, we're going to hand you a handout that gives you information on instructions on how to enter the lottery when it opens. But again, I want to really emphasize that there must be a past audition prior to the lottery, okay? Prior to the family entering the lottery. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. I will say, I still think I have somebody without themselves being muted. Families, please, if you just got into the meeting, please try to mute yourself. Thank you so much. But there will be also an opportunity for you to ask some questions shortly, okay? So if you are able to write down some questions, that would be awesome. Please write them down and then just have them ready for our little Q&A session. Moving on. So again, students can choose 10 majors, and if they are in high school, they can also do the technical theater and costume. But students are really able to interact, advance their skills by interacting with some like-minded peers. They're going to come here and have students who share the same passion for the arts. But one of the unique things about Northwest is that we have some amazing teachers. Our arts teachers are artists themselves. So most of them are very active within their professional community, the local community. And they have really given some opportunities to bring in guest artists and having master classes and field trips and artist residencies on the calendar every year for our students. So that's one of the really unique offerings about Northwest is there's going to be some, first of all, field trips. Your child is going to be constantly being promoted for, whatever type of field trips they're going on with their program. There's going to be some field trips involved, whether it's to the local museums, whether it's for our dance department, the Charlotte Ballet. Our musical theater students just went to Children's Theater to see a couple of our students in Narnia. I just chaperoned another trip with our students when they went to our visual arts students went to the local museum to see the Picasso exhibit. So again, we are constantly giving our students that opportunity to explore through those field trips. The artist residencies, those are super important through funding through the Arts and Science Council or other funding through CMS. Our arts teachers are able to have artist residencies where we are able to have guest artists and speakers come in and actually give our students the hands-on learning and giving them that opportunity to answer their questions and teach them about the pathways of their careers. And so this has been just strictly given off of our teachers' partnerships and their connections. So this has enabled us to be able to bring in those national visiting artists for master classes and performances. So why NWSA? Why Northwest? So first of all, our rigorous academics that we offer, our pre-professional arts education, going to hear me talk about this a little bit, and like-minded peers in a pro-caring atmosphere. So I'm going to talk about that, just break that down just a little bit. First of all, with Northwest, just to give
Okay.
you a quick overview, we are,
So the open
sorry,
house
anybody
thing
have
is not is virtual.
hello? Can you hear me, Amy?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay, you're off mute.
Ah! I'm gonna take you off. Hold on.
Okay, no worries. So we are grades 6 through 12, we're middle and high. Our population is just under 1,100 students with about 160 per grade. Our school hours just changed to 7:15 to 2:15. We're also on an A-day, B-day schedule with 90-minute classes. I'll talk to you, break that down just a little bit, but we do we do not have before or after school care. However, we have through CMS for transportation, there's an express stop that will go directly to your closest high school for direct pickup and drop off in terms of transportation. And in terms of tutoring, there's tutoring offering available. That usually is through the school will just notify the family of those opportunities, usually through your child's homeroom teacher. And although we don't have any sports, Northwest, like you mentioned, like you heard mentioned in that video, we're still very competitive. We still have this. All of our programs regularly are being involved, whether it's regionally or locally. Right now, this week, our theater department, they are putting on, taking their shows to their one act festivals plays to NCTC, which is a theater competition, theater festival, where they can compete and get scored by judges. And it's really lots of fun. Our tech department, our costume department, they're building the sets and costumes. So it's really fun. Our visual art department, they have the scholastic writing and art competition where our students can submit their artwork. And then our music department, they have regular scheduled regional events where they travel off campus to various universities where they get adjudication. And so it's so many different opportunities. And not to mention, there's some opportunities in our school to also be remain competitive. We really make sure that our students keep their calendar full. So they will have a full calendar. And one other thing, you know, our curriculum at Northwest, it's the same as any other CMS curriculum. Your student will be taking all of their North Carolina standard courses of study courses. So that means math and English and social science and social studies, health and PE, all of that is the same. There's still a graduation requirement for all of 24 credits, the same as North Carolina for high school. So just know that the curriculum and the high school graduation standard is all the same. There is an audition required. So at Northwest, we like to say that our school has a pre-professional environment. We do starting in middle school or high school, if you're whichever area your grade level your child enters the school, they won't have to audition again unless they want to change or add another major. So the audition for entrance is the only audition that is required. Other than that, they won't have to audition to continue from middle school to high school. Our artists, teachers are artists. We offer a wide range of arts classes, visiting artists, master classes, field trips, a lot of opportunities for those. We have a state-of-the-art performance and art space, and our middle school can make high school students can start to double major when they get into high school. So at Northwest, these are all of our majors. And These are just a couple of pictures from, this first picture is from our Charlotte, our dance, winter dance showcase. And this is a picture from Yellow Boat, one of our theater department performances a couple of years ago. And then down here at the bottom, if you can see down here, this is a picture of our Masterworks performance. You'll notice here, it's like a symphony performance. It actually has a ton of our, all of our music department, one stage performing for audience. And our auditorium is a $9.5 million space, state-of-the-art space with state-of-the-art equipment, lighting, sound. So we have a wonderful, wonderful night on those Masterworks night. Our students, chorus, everyone on choral music department, everyone on one stage is pretty phenomenal. Something else, just to give you some insight. So again, all of our students take the same courses as any other school in CMS. So you will have the math, English, science, social studies, but we also offer honors and AP classes as well for high school. Currently, we have about 12 AP courses, and from AP psychology, AP biology, AP stats. So they're all there, and our students are regularly admitted to some of the finest universities and conservatories in the country. So at Northwest, just a little bit, we understand and recognize that students learn differently. And respond well to hands-on learning. So starting in middle school, teachers really strive to integrate the arts into their curriculum to reach every student. So arts education is not only make school fun and interesting, but that also has a correlation to higher motivation and overall higher standardized test scores and improved school culture. So one of the things that we like to do to improve our school culture, I'm going to go back one more. I'm going to go back to all of this in just a second. But one of our biggest things about improved school culture is our embracing of a diverse environment. So one of the things that I wanted to show you, I don't know if I still have it up here, but I'll go back to this just so we can go back to this slide. But one of the things that Northwest appreciates the most is the diverse community. We have some really dedicated students at Northwest that come from all over Mecklenburg County. And in addition to get engagement in core studies and arts, our students enjoy connecting with their peers. So this environment you can describe as a dynamic, pro-caring learning environment. Our school culture, we really embrace diversity. Like I mentioned earlier in this session, diversity is very important to us at Northwest. Our top value at Northwest is kindness, and we try to embrace diversity as much as we can. We are accepting of all students. We regularly celebrate and embrace our diversity through Pro-Caring Days assemblies. So we actually have one upcoming this Wednesday for our early release day. Our Pro-Caring Days are designed to recognize diversity in the arts, as well as among our students. And it overall just leads to an environment of caring and acceptance that is felt throughout the school. So on our Pro-Caring Days, generally they happen on early release days, but what'll happen is the entire school, middle school will have their own block where they come to the auditorium and they just watch a performance from one of our music departments. Last month was our music department. This month is theater, and then so forth and so on. What we've heard the most of, what I've heard the most of is we never, from students especially, we never really get an opportunity to hear from other majors or like see shows. I mean, unless they go, attend a performance. So it's something that we really want to do to improve our overall school culture. And it has been amazing so far. It's been an amazing that we've we received some really incredible feedback, and our students have really been well behaved, and they have been supporting one another, and it's been great to see. Okay, so now I can go to this wonderful fancy picture of our new $9.5 million auditorium performance space. We're very proud of that. And hence I'm giving you a little bit of opportunity to look at this a little bit. But yeah, this auditorium space, it's really great, especially if you can come in for a tour so you can see it for yourself. This is actually a view from the stage. Seats 600, approximately 600 students, I think 600. There's an operating system right in the middle there for our tech students to run and operate lights and sound. It's very, very great. And it's functional, gives us an opportunity to really treat our students. And this is what CMS did through this grant, approval of this grant bond referendum vote to get us this auditorium space back in 2016. They just see the value in the arts and what Northwest has been doing, and it was almost in honor of what they value in our students and our teachers and our staff. So we brought in all the engineers, all the sound acoustics engineers, everybody we could think of to help us, including our teachers and staff, to give us everything that we needed for this new performance space. So we have the stage, we have the seats, and then behind we have our arts gallery that we host most of our visual arts student showcases. And then underneath the auditorium is our dressing rooms, where prop and scenery storage, and a couple of theater classrooms, including our tech shop. So it's pretty fantastic. Please sign up for a tour, and I can show you how to do that tonight too, if you haven't already. Typical day schedule, like I mentioned before, 90-minute blocks. We do have an hybrid A-day, B-day schedule, which means that there's different days, especially if you're middle school, you'll be taking your English and math every day. But A-day, B-day schedule just means they'll be taking different classes on different days. So this is an example of a 6th grade or a 7th grade class. First semester, you'll notice, again, middle school, English and math every day. But then you have your science, depending on the semester that your counselor works it out with you. You either take your science first semester or your social studies. And then you'll have one more spot for your elective major, as you can see here. And then health and PE is going to be a requirement. You have to take your health and PE. And then as you fulfill those classes, those courses like health and PE, as you get up in your grade levels, that's when you start to see a little bit more opportunity for some space for some more additional elective opportunities, taking more classes within your major. So this is a example for 8th grade or high school. You'll see that English and math every day, again, still in 8th grade. However, you start seeing that opportunity for your health and PE, whether it's semester, and then that semester elective being able to fit in there based on what's available, because sometimes it does depend on the available what's being offered that semester. And then in high school, you'll see here, there's some additional opportunities for adding on more electives, double majoring, even just with the, fulfilling those credits. So this is a sample middle school set schedule. You'll notice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at the top. And then you'll also probably notice that there is a block schedule. This is usually from like a power school view, but you'll notice that there's, how can I say this? You'll notice that there's a time for each class, and then based on the A-day, B-day schedule, it just changes. So for this particular student, they had the health education, health and PE. They had their social studies, their ELA honors, and then their math. And then the next day they had their drama, they had their Science, ELA, and math again. So ELA math happens same time every day. And then you have your elective opportunity. Let's give you a little high school schedule sample. So this is a sample of a 9th grade student, just to give you a little bit of insight. So you'll see here on an A day, on one day they'll do their earth and environmental science, their math, English, visual arts, beginning. And then they'll have their world history the next day, music theory. So you start seeing that there are some, and then the health and PE. So you start seeing that there's some opportunities for more elective offerings, depending on the semester and depending on the openings in the schedule. So this student's still taking the health and PE, which means they still, have a little bit of room in their schedule. But again, depending on how that's worked out with your counselor, you may just, if you really want to take this, particular elective class or this particular class, and you'll just work it out with your counselor on what semester you want to take something, especially depending on what they know is going to be offered a little bit ahead of time. But sometimes they have no idea what's going to be offered for the next year until we get closer to like August of next year. So that's a little bit of a sample schedule. Like I mentioned before, still students are still required to achieve the same promotion graduation requirements. Middle school, they still have to take the math, language arts, science, social studies, health, and PE. Graduation requirements, 24 credits. And these are all of the AP offerings. So again, those AP offerings for any one high school, those are offered for music and also for visual arts, AP art history, and then for all of the academics, English, calculus, statistics, AP government, world history, Spanish. So there's also some online courses that are available. Okay. I believe that's kind of our wrapping up. This is one thing I did want to show you. In terms of our pro-caring environment, things that I hear often, I feel loved and accepted, and I want to feel this way for my whole high school career. Northwest helps me with how I present myself to people, and Northwest is like home, another home. This is just a little spotlight on one of our former students who's gone off to do some really great things. So Eva Noma Lanzada, she had a quote that says, "Northwest taught me so much. The challenge to work hard and to really push myself started there. It was the first place to give me a chance to shine and really helped me to define myself as an actor." So that was from Eva, and Eva, she was 18 years old. She debuted as the lead in Miss Saigon and London's West End on Broadway. She walked into an audience of 1,600 and hadn't even graduated Northwest. And that was before she went off to win Best Actress for the Bloomy Awards. And she just overall is just an amazing person. I was able to know her and, really, get to know her as a person before she left. She just was amazing, and she's doing amazing things even today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and open this meeting up to some questions. I have some in the chat too. I will not forget about you in the chat if you ask me a question. I'm going to go to this first one. But feel free to unmute yourself, raise your hand, and I'll skip and I'll go back and forth to the chat, questions in the chat as well. So we're opening up to questions.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, Miss Wilson.
How are you?
What's your question?
I'm excited about this opportunity because my son is in his last year of middle school, and so we're looking forward to enrolling. or entering the lottery for Northwest. I wanted to find out if um, there were hybrid classes as far as online and in person.
So I think your question was, are there online opportunities for academics?
Yes.
You would be correct.
Okay.
Only offered for certain things through the NCVPS. I'll give you a little hint. If you go to our school website, our school homepage, there are some online course availability for you to check out ahead of time. But usually you're gonna have to wait to register your child. But I'll give you a little hint. You go to our school's website, and actually I'll take you there right now so that I can just show you. So just to give you an insight, say for instance, you're on our school website and you want to learn more about the programs. You can check this out. Hang on a second. You can go to our school website, which is Northwest School of the Arts, but in your case, you'll just go to, Google, whatever. But you really want to stay in our student services portion of everything. Hopefully you can see this here. This is the school website. If you go under parents and students and drop down to student services, you can see all of the information that has to do with college resources, registration. There's just some really good resources here. This is like all of our counselors' registration. This is where you can find everything related to that. But you can also see some information about some. Now, granted, if you can't find anything, let me know. But for the most part, I believe that you can find some good stuff on here about this. Now, it does get a little bit more specific and when it comes to the online. But if you do want to start there, I think that's going to be really helpful. And even if you want to have some opportunities to call the school and get some information there, I always think that that's a good pathway for you. But for the most part, yeah, you want to start off with calling the school. That might be a good thing, for that way we can connect you with one of our counselors. They can give you some more specifics.
Thank you.
In the chat, someone asked, when my daughter got into ninth grade, she enrolled at CPC dual enrollment. When my daughter gets to the ninth grade, can she enroll in CPC dual enrollment? Yes, and Ms. Reams, you can find that same information on that student services page through our school homepage. Again, you want to go to Northwest School of the Arts webpage, and you really want to go to the parents and students to the student services page. And yeah, you can do the dual enrollment through and when she gets into high school. If a child is not selected for enrollment, do they have to keep applying every year? Yes, if they're not admitted into Northwest, if they are, I think I said this earlier in the presentation, but if they are admitted to the school, they won't have to keep auditioning every year. But if they aren't, I think in your question, you said if they are not selected, do they have to keep applying? And the answer is yes. On our on our auditions website, nwsaauditions.com, this is our website. You'll see it says auditions for the 24-25 school year. What happens is that will change when we start to have every year around Labor Day, we update our requirements. Our website completely updates with new information, with a new application and everything. So yeah, you will need to apply every year if your child does not make it. And I think you were asking some questions about she does not want to play a string instrument. She wants to try for the piano. She will have to play the piano even though she has no experience, or can she audition with the instrument she has experience with? I think it's a good idea for you to take a look at our requirements, Ms. Reams. For piano specifically, if she, I think what you're asking is if she does not have, she does not want to play a string instrument. She wants to try out for the piano. She doesn't have too much experience. Now, remember, when you get to the audition requirements, it's good to look at, and this is for everybody, when you get to the audition requirements, there's a couple ways you can get there. This is our website for audition. So you can go to the very top tab, or you can find it using the link where it says audition requirements. Read your child's audition requirements carefully. By the way, there's a video here which will walk you how to do everything, how to navigate the website. And as long as you look over the requirements for you specifically, Ms. Reams, that's one of the things I know is mentioned in the requirements. For piano specifically, it says for middle school, beginning students can only be accepted in 6th grade. I'm not sure exactly what grade your child is in, Ms. Reams. But again, you don't have to have any experience to become in as a beginning piano student. So again, make sure, families, that you are looking over these requirements, because usually in the requirements at the very top, it tells you the name of the title of the audition, the school year. It'll also have the instructor, the audition length, and then it will have some information about experience level or what your child is being assessed on and their audition. And so just make sure you're looking over that. Ms. Rains, we do have a nurse on staff. We have a full-time nurse who's there most days. We also have a full-time police officer who's on staff. And that's separate from our SROs, our security that we have on staff for all, for school in general, but also for performances during the evening. Can you walk us through the auditions process? Yes, I will. The audition at Northwest, first of all, you want to go to nwsaauditions.com. I'm going to type it in the chat, but please, 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 please know that the auditions website, you can also get there from the school website by going to under families, parents and students, and under prospective students, you'll find this site as well. nwsaauditions.com is the website. You'll see it says for the 24-25 school year. There are 3 steps: request an audition, read over your requirements, look over dates and deadlines. In terms of the process for auditions, you're going to request an audition, you're going to audition, and then you're going to enter this school options lottery. So there's only 3 steps to our process. Again, request an audition, and with a past audition, you can enter the lottery for Northwest. So again, if you were not here when I said that earlier, please, please, please know that you will need to pass the audition prior to entering the lottery. And that's just for our school because we have the audition process. But once you complete the audition request, it's a Google form. You can start looking over the audition requirements with your child so that they can begin preparing, and then look over the audition dates. Generally, when you complete the form to request an audition, I send you another email with scheduling information.
What's the acceptance rate among kids who've auditioned? Are most of them generally accepted into the school, or like what's the
So
level of?
when you say, so yes, most of them generally are accepted into the school, but please understand, the lottery is the best way to get students into the school. So their chances do increase based on them passing an audition and entering into the lottery. After the lottery is over, we will continue to audition, but it's just going to be if there's space in the grade and in the major. Does that make sense?
It does. I have one slightly related question. If a kid auditions and then decides that they want to lottery in for a different discipline, or halfway through middle school they decide they want to switch from, say, chorus to musical theater, is that possible?
Now, it is possible, but a lot of times people think that it is an immediate switch over. Now, remember, just like on this website, it says audition for the 24-25 school year. That means that your child will be coming into the school for the August 2024. They'll find out, they'll enter the lottery will run. Families will receive notification letters from the lottery in January 2024. So that's kind of the timeline. Now, again, if your child is wanting to later on change their major, it will work the same way. It will always be for the upcoming school year, not an immediate change. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Another question, or I'm going to go back to the chat. Okay. Can you explain the express stops regarding transportation? My daughter does not have her current magnet middle school, does not have that at her current magnet middle school. Her audition is December 6th. Does she have to wait until the lottery? Does she have to wait until that day to enter the lottery? Great questions. Explaining express stops is simply this. Wherever your closest high school is, that is where, more than likely, that is where all of students will be, that's where the direct transportation will be serving students directly to their home high school. There has been some additional stops added to that list. And again, you can find the entire transportation list at the CMS website for transportation. That's a great resource for you to see what stops are already available. You might just see whatever homeschool is nearest to you is on that list. But again, high school, homeschool, whatever nearest high school is closest to you, that would be where transportation picks up the student and drops them off at the end of the day. And again, we're 7:15 to 2:15. Now, if your daughter, and the reason for that being, we just switched over to the express stops this year. We've been a major pain in the transportation's side for the past couple of years, being that Northwest serves the entire county. So we have students coming from all over Mecklenburg County, and partner that with a late bell schedule, a dismissal at 4:30 in the afternoon. It just was really, really impacting traffic. And overall, CMS's buses, their transportation was not liking the way our buses were getting out there. So not only did they switch us to a high school schedule releasing at 2:15, but they also gave us the express stops. So the express stops has been completely successful. I work bus duty in the afternoons. Our buses are off the lot. Our students are, bus drivers are dismissed around 2:10, and our buses are off the lot most days 2:15. Very seamless process, and you only have to pick your student up from their home school. And then as far as her audition, does she have to wait until? She does not have to wait. Okay, you do have to wait until the lottery opens. The lottery doesn't open until I believe November 23rd. If you want me to be very specific on that, we can go to the dates and deadlines and just make sure that I'm not wrong. But the lottery dates, all of our dates, this is a great way to kind of get an idea. But as long as your child passes the audition, there's not one date that's better. There's not one audition date that's better than the other, okay? As long as you audition between the months of October and December, it's best to audition during the lottery to have your during the lottery to have the best chances of your child getting in. But as long as they audition within the lottery period, and we've made most of our auditions within that lottery period, between October, there's one in October, there's one in November, there's one in December. There's two in December. But as long as your child passes any of these auditions between the months of October and December with us, they will be eligible to participate in the lottery as long as they pass. And again, you do have to wait until the lottery opens. So I do suggest you follow our process, because once you come to your audition, we give you a handout that walks you through how to enter the lottery. And again, the lottery doesn't open, it has its own dates that it opens. It opens the 23rd, November 23rd through December 29th. Correct me if I'm wrong, anybody. But yeah, please know that you will have to wait until the lottery opens to actually enter it, okay? It doesn't just stay open. It has a opening and a closing. And your audition does have to be, now if you want, now her audition is December 6th, that's great. That means that the lottery will close way after that on December 29th. You will have plenty of time to enter her in the lottery. Our job is to make sure families know if your child passed or not, so you are not wasting a choice in the lottery on Northwest if your child does not pass. I hope that answers your question. Are students able to study foreign language? Yes. Again, just like any CMS school, they have to do the foreign language unless they've already fulfilled that requirement. So we have in-house, we actually have Spanish, but there's also some offerings online. Do you have an ELS class for non-native students? Yes, we do have an ELS courses. Those are also available with our foreign language department. What scholarships covered? I think, what do the scholarships cover? I might need Ms. Reams to kind of, I might need you to go in a little bit more detail about that one. What kind of after-school activities, clubs, asking for middle, plenty of after-school activity, we don't have any after-school activities, but there are clubs. They're usually offered throughout the year by individual. This year, there's a filmmaking class, so it just ranges every year. I mentor a student ambassadors club that helps families throughout the school. There's also chess clubs, so they just range and vary, but your child will be able to see all of the different posters and that come up around club. But there's also National Honor Societies attached to all of our programs as well. Can you share more information about the performances on Saturday? It's our NCTC home performances. Those happen, and I should have a performance link on here. I'll add that. But if you go to our school website, there's a cool way for you to see our calendar. If you go to our calendar, you'll see all of the performances. And then if you want more information on that, please let me know. But the home performances for NCTC, they are our theater students. They're coming together, and they're working on two different shows, Tragedy of Thebes and Metamorphosis. They put on they're one-act plays, and they take it off to competition, but first they have the home performances. So they've been doing a lot of work with stage combat, really, really great work. And those performances are this weekend. Friday, I believe, they happen at, excuse me, I have to just look at my performance calendar, but I believe they happen at the 21st. They happen 6:30. So if you are interested, take a look at our calendar and you can visit our tag website, which is our booster page for Northwest. And anytime you're looking for booster information, just any of this information, any questions about clubs or our boosters, you can find that under parents and students on our homepage. Someone asked a question and I forgot what it was. Are resources allocated evenly before programs? Does the visual arts receive the same amount of fund as music and theater? It varies. The theater department might have some panels, sound panels that they need that cost a little bit more than the visual arts, or visual arts may have a kiln that they need for their ceramics classes. So it really just depends on the funding that comes in, the amount of funding that we're allocated. I do a lot of the arts funding at the school. So a lot of that we have to ask the year prior. So again, it just depends on how much CMS is able to get us, how much we can ask for something, but it just depends on how much we are allocated after budgeting and all of that's discussed. If auditions are after the lottery, should a student apply to their second or choice in order to meet the school deadlines? The auditions that are after the lottery period, again, yes, if you're considering a second or third choice, assuming the first one, the first audition is passed prior to the lottery, then yeah, you can schedule your second or third. You can only have 2 auditions, but you can schedule your second audition after the lottery period, but you must have 1 pass prior to the lottery closing. Is it more difficult to get accepted when the older child is, is it more difficult to get accepted the older your child is? My daughter will be going to 11th grade and we moved from out of state. So this is our first exposure to your school. I think what you're asking is that, is it more difficult to get accepted in high school? And the answer is yes. Our auditions are a little bit more, I would say in middle school, they are looking for the aptitude. They're looking for the student's potential. Whereas in high school, we are looking for a more skilled artist. We are looking for their skills to be a little bit more developed there. So again, taking a look at those requirements, looking over those carefully with your child so that you can see what needs to be worked on, what's the time frame of the audition. Maybe I schedule later in December so that I can give my child time to prepare. Yeah, so high school, coming in for high school is a little bit more difficult because they are coming into a level that's where teachers are trying to make sure that they can be successful in the program. How quickly after an audition will a student know that they're accepted or not? I would say for every program, you will know that you're accepted within 20 to 48 hours of the audition, with an exception of visual arts. Visual arts, that one takes, depending on if both components are completed, the digital portfolio and the in-person audition. If both of the components are completed, you're looking at about a week in knowing those results. Everything else, you'll get results. All of our music, dance, theater, you'll get those next day, if not 48 hours. Choices for foreign language, we have the French, we have the German, all of them is online. Spanish is in-house. Will there be any tours on the weekends or after school hours? No, there will not. We have daytime tours only in the morning. And then there are some opportunities for you to come to one of our exhibits, musicals, performances. We do encourage you to look over our school calendar. That's going to be a great resource. And we're doing a really cool thing. We're opening our performances, our showcase, our exhibits 30 minutes prior, just to give some more information to prospective students. So teachers will be there ready for questions and ready to welcome you and your students. So that's just our way of welcoming our families. I have more questions. I'll try to answer all of them before we head out. Musical theater requirements not coming up. When I'm attempting to download them, can someone email them to me? Another way you can get those requirements, try using a different device. Try using your desktop, try using your phone. And overall, if you can, try using your child's Chromebook or laptop. Just try it on multiple devices to see if those can download for you. If you keep having issues, just email me and I will get those to you. How much time kids spend with their friends outside of their major? Kids have a lot of time, but they don't have too much time in between rehearsals and concerts and traveling. So they'll have, a good amount of time, especially with us releasing at 2:15. We've been getting some really great feedback about students having so much more time. Releasing at 2:15 p.m. every day, they have plenty of time to interact with their friends. And like I mentioned, with our Pro Caring Days, they get those opportunities to meet with, to really be exposed to majors outside of themselves. So our Pro Caring Days, those are our assemblies. Every single early release day, we have a Pro Caring Day assembly where students can be exposed to other majors and have a really great opportunity to appreciate the arts all around. How quickly after completing the audition request should you expect follow-up? Generally, within 24 to 48 hours, we're asking in this very busy season, parents, that you be patient. We'll try to get back to you generally within 24 to 48 hours, if not sooner. But please know that this is a very busy season. We appreciate your understanding and patience. Will the middle school be moving off campus next year? The bond referendum, I highly suggest you look over that. You can go to the CMS homepage just by going to the CMS homepage and looking at all of the information. We are going to be we're looking at getting our middle school just move over to we're looking at becoming just a high school pretty soon in the future. But the only thing is there has to be a vote on that. That vote won't happen until November. I suggest, this is what I've been doing. I've been looking at a lot of the information on the CMS website. If you go there and you look at, like, for instance, there's the schedules changes and all of that. But you can also get some more information about, like, the bond referendum vote, all of those different things. But yeah, in the future, we're looking at Northwest having its middle school move to First Ward as the 6 through 12. And then UPCA will still be our K through 5. And then Northwest will be a standalone high school. But again, without the vote, we don't have any information on the timing of that. So sorry. When CMS publicizes that information, you will know the same time as me. Sorry to disappoint. Any other questions? I think that's all in the chat. For Pro Caring Days, if kids are on Express Bus, they won't be able to attend the performance. We have adjusted our schedule to make sure that our pro-caring days only happen between first and third block, or however it's rotated. It's all within the early release schedule. Thank you for asking. Any other questions before we head out? All right, if you want to stay and ask me more questions, feel free to. So this is just my thank you to everybody for joining. I hope you have a good night. Remember, if you go to the website and you go to contact, everything from, excuse me, let me go back. Everything from daytime tours to information sessions, you can find it all here. Just explore the website a little bit. I've even included a little video for you that will help you navigate. But if you're just confused and you want a quick answer, go to contact us. You'll find my information. Call the school, ask for Miss Davis. I'll be happy to help you through. Thank you all for attending our session today. Thank you. Have a great night.